Hey guys, so it seems that I've managed to get back into the habit of making videos more regularly, and I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's been commenting, liking, and subscribing. It's really nice that even after such long absence, I can post a video and still get so many views and have people welcome me back, so that's really nice. It's really good community, the fish tank community online. Everybody's really nice, and I'm really glad that you guys are all still enjoying watching these. So I thought today I would just do a video talking about the animals I have in this tank. I know that a lot of us, and especially me, since we've gotten into doing planted tanks from just having regular aquariums, normally when we do updates or talk about our tanks, we just talk about the plants and updates as to growth and things like that, and often neglect to talk about what we've actually got in the tank. And I know that I'm really guilty of that, and so I thought I would talk a little bit about it today. So this tank has been set up now for a very long time, but since I moved into this house, it's been set up for about 2.5 years. I moved it from my last house. Most of the same plants were in here and all of the same fish from the 40-gallon breeder tank that I had before into this 65-gallon tank here. Now, I don't think that I've actually purchased any fish at all in years, with the exception of the betta fish that's in my 10-gallon tank and some of the emerald eye rasboras that are in here. So I thought I would just go over what I've got in here, and I think that as soon as I have some extra money, I'm going to get some new tank mates for these guys, because I feel like over time I've lost a few due to old age, or some of them jumping out of the tank because it's got an open top, and I think it would be nice to have a bit more life in here too. So I'll try and go through everybody, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. So I guess I'll start with the most popular fish in this tank, which are obviously my Congo Tetris. These guys are really popular with the viewers. I think it's obvious why. They're beautiful. And they're quite old now at this point too. I'd say I've had these ones for about 4 years. Yeah, about 4 years now. So they're a great addition to this tank, and they really do take over. I mean, they're the biggest fish in this tank, and the most colorful, and the most lively, and essentially the most aggressive, especially at feeding time. So I really love them a lot, and I don't know if I'll seek to replace them when they die. I'm not really sure what their lifespan is either, but I've never been able to find other ones that have coloring as nice as these ones. They have a really great scale from yellow, orange, red, blue, a little bit of purple. Really, the camera on my phone doesn't do them justice. They're really beautiful. I have a pearl gourami. Now this fish is really old. I'm not even sure how to tell you guys how old this one is. It's maybe since I've had it for maybe 5 or 6 years. And I feel like it's definitely getting on there. It's still doing well, but it has cataracts and things like that. I don't know if you guys can see them there. So that must mean that it's getting on in years too. I have some zebra Danios that were given to me by a friend who didn't want them in his tank anymore. I think that he thought they were pretty boring fish, but I think they're beautiful. I think these are long-finned ones, and they're hard to get a good shot of because they're so busy. I really like them in this tank. I think that they add a lot of life, and I think that they look really beautiful in a planted tank. They've got this beautiful yellow sheen to them. and the black and white stripes are great. So I don't think they're boring at all, and obviously they're incredibly hardy, and they do really well almost in any situation, so I love to have them. I have a lone cardinal tetra who is also very old, like older than, I look up their lifespan, it says 1 to 2 or 3 years. This little guy has been going for like 5, and whether you believe me or not, is fine, because he has, and he's totally blind. I'm pretty sure his eyes are just like totally milky, but he's huge and super colorful and beautiful, and I hope he lasts for a long time more. I also have these chain loaches. I believe I have about 6 of them. Again, really hard to get a video of them because they're so busy. I think that these chain loaches are my favorite fish, are pretty close to. They're really, really exciting fish to have in a tank, and they're beautiful, and they're rare and expensive, and if I could have a tank that just had 100 of these in it, I would, but the closest pet store to me, and the only place I've ever seen them, sells them about 3 for $40. So I've definitely invested in these guys, but I've also had them for a long time, and they seem to be doing well with no signs of slowing down. I have a clown loach. I feel guilty about having this little guy in here. I don't think he's very happy. I've had him for a while, and he hasn't grown barely at all, and I feel like he's quite thin. Ultimately, I'd like to find him another home. I know he needs pals, and I don't think he's very happy in here. His coloring's okay, but I don't know. He just seems sad to me. I don't know if you guys agree. He just looks sad. So if there's anybody in my area, which I don't think there is, I'd be happy to give him to you. So I think he needs a better tank than mine to live in. Who's next? I got this rainbow shark to replace my beloved 9-year-old rainbow shark who died earlier this year. And he seems to be doing okay. The coloring is not very nice on this one. If you remember my old videos, my last one was blacker than black and redder than red and gigantic, so I'm hoping this guy comes along, and I think it's also a male, which is good. The females are quite a bit stockier than the males, but I'm hoping his colors improve and that he gets quite a bit bigger. I also have some cherry barbs. I had a rare glimpse of the male there. He rarely comes out, but he's really beautiful and very vibrant. And there's one of the females here. I have 2 females and a male in this tank. And again, I've had these ones for years and years as well. I have Amano Tetris, quite a few of them. Oh, there's the male. He's really beautiful. He couldn't be more red, but he's very shy and he doesn't come out very often. I think he's coming out right now because he thinks I'm going to feed him. They all do. Here's a great shot of the rummy noses and the chain loaches. I think they all think that it's time to eat. Here's one of the nerite snails, the ones that have been eating the wood. This is one of the smaller ones I have in here, and he's fairly big. I'm not really sure how many I have in here because I don't see them very often. I think they must mostly come out at night. But what I neglected to say in my last video about these guys is that I really don't think you can find a better algae eater, and if you can get your hands on them and you have a planted tank, you won't regret buying a bunch of them. And they live a really long time too, so they really help out a lot, and they're really beautiful. This isn't a great shot of him, but I think maybe there's 6 of them in here. There's another one right up in the corner here by the heater. Another one of my favorites in this tank is this little molly here. Oh, hold on, I can't get a good shot of it. That little spotted yellow and black molly in the back. Well, the story of that one is that I bought some shrimp from a pet store for the kitchen tank, and I noticed that there was this little particle floating around in the bag, and I really had a good look at it because I was afraid it was going to be a parasite or something like that. And what it ended up being was this tiny microscopic molly fry, or I didn't know it was molly at the time because it really was so microscopic. I can't get a good shot of him. Here he is. Anyway, so I put it in the tank with the shrimp, and I waited a couple of months before I could even guess at maybe what it was. And at the time I thought, oh, maybe it's going to be a guppy, maybe it's going to be a molly. And it ended up being a molly, and so when it got a little bit bigger, I transferred it into this tank, and it also does a great job at eating algae. It likes to eat the algae off of my power head over here, and so I'm looking forward to it getting bigger in here as well. But that was a really nice surprise to buy some shrimp and to get that little guy out of there. I think I've pretty much covered everybody. I have a few emerald eye rasboras in here as well, which were originally purchased for the 10-gallon tank and that I transferred into here because they weren't happy in the 10-gallon because I think it was too open and too small, and they were really afraid, so I transferred them into this tank where they've done a lot better. That's pretty much it right now. I have a bunch of autos in here as well, which are also ancient. I haven't bought autos since I first started my tanks back up, which was a long time ago, like maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even 8 years ago. I bought a bunch of them because I heard they were good for eating algae. I didn't find they did such a great job, but obviously I kept them because they're awesome. I love autos. I never see them except for when I clean the tank. But when I moved, I counted maybe 10. And so I'm pretty sure there's still about that many in here. But they just kind of hide underneath and do their job eating algae, and I appreciate it. I also have maybe 10 plus Amano Shrimp in here, who I also don't see very often. They hide in the depths of the rotella. They love it in there. Lots of surface area for algae and little treats to grow, so they spend a lot of their time in there. And I'm pretty sure that's everything in here. So I'm hoping to get something else. I don't know if I'm just going to get more of something I already have in here, or if I'm going to try getting something new. I used to keep, what are they called? Sorry guys, those red flat tetras with the black spot on them. What are those called? If any of you can remember, drop it in the comment box below. I can't believe I'm trying a blank on that. Anyway, I really like those, and they're very vibrant red, and I think getting a little bit more red in this tank might look really good. So I'm thinking I may get some of those, or maybe some diamond tetras, as I really like those too. If you guys have any ideas of what you think would look good in here, just let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.